Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. Welcome back to this edition of the American Dota League, this weekend edition, this Saturday edition. Hope it's a beautiful day wherever you happen to be. It's certainly beautiful here in the Bay Area. And, even though I'm spending today indoors, I've got the windows open, looking out, got the skyscrapers right across the way, and really just enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the chance to bring you guys some great North and South American Dota. And still feel like I'm outdoors and, not an esports guy. Actually, I love being an esports guy. I wouldn't have it any other way. Got to stay indoors all the time, though. That's the only bad part. But Pain Gaming going to be taking on Team Dignitas. Pain Gaming International, I should say. The pride of Argentina taking on one of the best teams on the planet in Team Dignitas. Not just one of the best teams in the league, but one of the best all around. Now, Dignitas, of course, a team that's seen some ups and downs lately coming into this series. They're sitting fine in the ADL standings. They're 2-0, and really I don't think there's any surprise there. Still waiting, and I remain quite confident that there are going to be some upsets, at least one or two by the time all's said and done, against the big three in our tournament standings of Dignitas, Team Liquid, and Evil Geniuses. For the most part, though, they're going to be beating up on each other. Dignitas currently sitting at 2-0. Liquid is at 2-1, and EG's actually perfect so far, sitting at 4-0. Pain Gaming trying to get their legs back underneath them. Whenever we look at the standings, we can see they're sitting at a goose egg, sitting at 0-2. So going to be up against a tough test here to keep from falling to 0-3, however. And Dignitas going to go ahead and grab Owie, the bear he loves so very much. Counter pick from Pain Gaming and the Gyrocopter and the Shadow Demons. So depending on how Dignitas wants to run this, they have no problem sending Owie to the off lane. It's still very preferable to get the Lone Druid into a solo farming situation if you possibly can. But it doesn't mean you have to. And Pain opting to grab the Shadow Demon. I'm actually a little surprised they didn't just go ahead and snag the Bane. If I'm Dignitas, I'm going to go ahead and take Bane here and probably one other high-value mid, because I can imagine that it's just the way that the Druid tends to work for the most part. The Lone Druid usually wants one other damage dealer on the board. It can be a mid. Yep, that's right. I forgot we got Shostakovich back on the stats, and Dignitas with a 56% win rate. With the Lone Druid, 27-21. So they win more often than they lose with the Druid. I'm actually a little surprised it's not higher than that, to be completely honest with you. So Dignitas does run the hero pretty frequently. But probably not one of the. I would like to know, and I'm going to go ahead and just ask this. So, and I don't know if it'll end up being relevant to the game, but with the stats, man, I'm going to go ahead and tap him on the shoulder for this one. What's their win rate when sneaking's on TA? That's an interesting stat I'd love to hear. They're going to go ahead and grab the Darkseer, but yeah, and the Jakiro. Wow, they're going to go ahead and let the Bane go. And Pain Gaming, if I'm them, I'm definitely grabbing the Bane here, especially after seeing that Darkseer pickup. You have to wonder where he's going to wind up, because, again, the Druid does want a solo lane for the most part. Darkseer usually in the woods or in that off lane. They can still run the Darkseer in the woods and run the Druid in the off lane if they really, really want to, but then they're going to be short on personnel. Could end up running the Darkseer in mid as well. And Jakiro, very nice support. Dignitas has been picking that hero up more and more often. In fact, seeing a lot of Western teams grab Jakiro more often. Kind of a resurgence in the Twin-Head Dragon and his place within the overarching metagame. But, yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Thank you so much to Statman Bruno Shostakovich off camera there. And that's what I'm talking about is, whenever I'm a little surprised, I'd be stunned if Pain didn't decide to ban out the TA there or coming up next. Because if they've done their homework on Dignitas, they have to know that sneaking he just thrives on that hero. Absolutely. And wow. Opting to go with the Leshrac. And, I totally understand that they're probably going to look to put some pressure on, and they may have the early makings of an offensive tri-lane here. Shadow Demon and Leshrac doesn't get a whole lot better than that in terms of being able to isolate a single target, even beginning at level 1. Disruption into Split Earth, and if you get a carry that has a stun, Homing Missile doesn't count. I honestly don't consider Homing Missile as a stun. It is a stun, obviously, but it's so unreliable and it takes so long to really fulfill its purpose that it's not something you can just call upon to have. It's kind of like a gimmicky ganking tool is probably what I would call it. You can do some cool stuff with it too, but if they want to try to get the Gyro in a solo farm situation, An offensive tri-lane obviously going to be the most effective way to do that. We haven't seen Dignitas pick up their mid, so the gyro can go mid as well if it's a preferable situation for him. And speaking of mids, Dignitas is going to go ahead and ban out the Magnus. So back to Dignitas lineup, though. They've got two heroes that want solo lane. The most obvious way to do it would be to send the Darkseer mid, then Druid in the off lane with Jakiro plus another support and another carry. And that gives the Druid what he wants, one more damage dealer at some point. But if they don't want to do that, they can honestly tri-lane the Druid, which you don't see that much anymore. Very rarely do you see a lone Druid often wind up being defensively tri-lane. Most teams just don't really see that as a good usage of the hero in general. It's dedicating too much for too little general return. I mean, obviously the Druid will be off to a good start, but the Druid can often get off to even if it's a mediocre start, a better start than he would. Yeah, there's the TA ban by Payne. Good job, Payne Gaming. But he plays very well from behind. Slow in the jungle to begin. It takes a little bit longer than other heroes that can be good in the jungle, like a Gyrocopter can start farming the jungle very, very early once he gets a few points in the Flak Cannon and Rocket Barrage in particular. Not super mana intensive. If he gets up a set of drums or some other item to help him with stat gain and just expand his mana pool a little bit. But Darkseer, the kind of, again, just the interesting pickup for me. And Dignitas going to continue to ban out other teamfight heroes, getting rid of the Brewmaster and the global mobility that Nature's Prophet would give them. Payne Gaming opts to get rid of two very strong supports, as well as the TA, take that away from sneaking if they can. And we're going to see, this fourth pickup is going to tell us what Dignitas is up to. I mean, and that's almost always the case. It'll give us a much better idea of how they want to lane this. I mean, they could even send the Lone Druid mid, and that's not all that uncommon either. Payne doesn't really have a position for a Bane pickup now, even though Bane would be excellent against the Druid.
5 seconds.
But Dignitas has to be conscious of the potential. There you go. That's awesome. Bruno's doing such a good job. I'm sorry I'm interrupting myself there to read that stuff off, but it is just so cool to see. And I'm still adjusting to that tool, so I'm still going to be in awe of it. Valve is just so good. But Kunkka rounding out the front four for Dignitas, so that's going to be that damage dealer to take the pressure off of them. Now, though, again, I mean, maybe they're going to offensively tri-lane with the Darkseer. I've seen that before. And you can O-try with a Kunkka as well. And it's in the Darkseer mid, maybe? I mean, it's just kind of wonky, but they definitely have their options. Remaining. And Payne Gaming right now, if I'm picking a carry, I want a carry that has a good stun. Maybe against the Lone Druid, a Dragon Knight would be a nice pickup. That's something Dignitas does, though you do often see Dragon Knight go mid. They're going to go straight to the Invoker. But seen a lot of Invoker play today. This is the third time today that we've seen Invoker. And we'll see where they want to end up putting him. Still not sure exactly how they're going to want to lane this. Could just be a defensive tri-lane and tri-lane the Gyrocopter. Then they just need an off lane with the Invoker in mid. But, usually when you see, you spend 2 early picks on a Shadow Demon and a Leshrac, it's almost a waste of those picks. And I say almost because, I mean, they're excellent heroes in their own right. Shadow Demon in particular. But it's almost a waste of those picks unless you're intentionally trying to fake out your opposition. Unless you're intentionally want to make them think that you are 100% going to offensively tri-lane. And if that was the goal, I don't think Dignitas bid on it. And they're just going to dare them to do it. But with the Kunkka up and looking, one thing that stands out so far for 3/4 of Dignitas is how quickly and how efficiently they're going to be able to fight. And Dignitas is, now they're actually going to grab the Bane. And Bane, a good answer to a Gyrocopter as well, works extremely well. I mean, and Bane, Bane is a good answer to almost any carry in a number of situations, particularly to the Gyrocopter, though, just because Gyro wants to be on the periphery of the fight. It's going to be mobile. It's probably going to build something like probably one of the more standard builds that we're beginning to see on Gyrocopter is phase boots / treads, whatever player's preference is, then straight up to a drum Jasha just to have the ability to kite the enemy out to not let them get on top of you in the mid game. But Bane, obviously, I mean, and Fiend's Grip has It's one of those things where, you don't want to say it's totally broken or anything. And it's not broken as in imbalanced or overpowered. But I have seen some Fiends grips come from downtown. I have seen some Fiends grips come from out in Timbuktu a few times. And the range, I don't know if it's just a glitch or a bug or something, whatever it is though. It's definitely something that does show up very often. And if you watch a lot of Pro Dota, I'm sure you've seen it too. Bane's Fiend's Grip just occasionally does some wonky things in terms of its actual range. And even aside from that, even without it being based entirely on the a broken aspect of the range on it, it still has decent-ish range anyway. But anyway, we are going to have a quick pause right off the bat, and that's never very encouraging whenever you have someone immediately disconnect upon immediately loading. But nonetheless, one of our last games of the day. We're now in the back stretch, the back three of this 6-game back-to-back ADL broadcast. Coming up after this, we'll have Typical Mistakes taking on Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming going to be involved in all three of our back three for today. They'll be taking on Dignitas now, obviously. Typical Mistakes will meet them after that. And then Team Liquid, rounding out the day with our last broadcast. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekends so far, and hope you're enjoying some Dota. And whether you're here with us just for this game or you've been here all day, definitely a good day for esports. And a reminder that tomorrow and Monday, and this will be true for the next month or two, on Mondays and Sundays, we will be off on the ADL. The D2L will be taking place on Monday. So make sure you follow there as well. Hit follow here on twitch.tv/American Dota League so you can catch some nice North and South American Dota. Then if you want to get a bit more of a European flavor, obviously. And more good stats, interactions, Darkseer, plus Shakiro win rate, 46%, Shadow Demon plus Fleshrack, very nice. Lone Druid versus Weaver, very nice. So yeah, and again, more just great stats coming out from the Statman. So we are back underway. And we'll take a look. And who's going to be handling who? Bane going to be played by Way Too Sexy. Jakiro going to be handled by Fogged. We're going to have Universe playing on our Admiral Kunkka. And his Kunkka looks cool, man. I like that. Just the top band. The Lone Druid will be handled in the off lane by Owie. And Darkseer going to be played by Sneaking. So they are, I'm going to guess, with Sneaking on the DS, they'll be sending him mid. No real surprise there. That's what I suspected. And then we're going to have Mill on the other side playing on the Shadow Demon. Gambetta, or Gambeta, I'm going to guess is how that's pronounced. Playing on the Invoker. Aftershock going to be handling the Weaver this time around. And the Gyrocopter going to be played by 9999 with Leshrack rounding things out, played by TT. So that Weaver pickup coming out last there. And Weaver's a nice choice, I think, for them. It's going to give them a bit more punch in the mid game. Weaver can contribute right out the gate just because of the strength of Shikuchi. The damage is very nice. He will be maxing it as always. And a nice off-lane decision for them. And they are just going to go ahead, play back, and defensively tri-lane this with Gambetta running in mid on the Invoker. Now here in mid, this Invoker, Sneaking will have a chance to put some pressure on. He'll be able to do some damage, especially with the Invoker going Exort. But, what? If the Invoker just plays back and plays safe and gets a couple of points in Exort, doesn't overdo it, if I'm in his shoes, I'm definitely taking an early point into Wex just to make sure that any gank attempt, I have at least a chance to get away from it. Especially against a team like Dignitas. Dignitas very active, very aggressive. Got to deny there. But yeah, Sneaking is excellent on the Darkseer. Knows how to put pressure on. Knows how to play aggressive. And the Bear trying to pull the creep wave. Actually, a lot of damage done here. And very well done. Pain. Bringing down Owie's first Bear. He's going to have 40 seconds on the resummon. And Aftershock spotted out. Eats the dual breath out of bottom. Yeah, a little bit of harassment damage, but he's going to be able to harass fairly easily as well. But yeah, it looks to be a relatively quiet laning phase, so we'll probably just keep most of our attention here on mid to watch the matchup between Sneaking and Gambetta. But looking at the way these teams are going to start to match up once the laning phase does break down, Dignitas is going to be able to take fights very often, and that's something they're going to want to abuse, I do believe. The gyrocopter certainly no slouch in that department either. Call down, very short cooldown for an ultimate. And, of course, the spam ability of Rocket Barrage, as well as Flat Cannon, means they're always going to be a threat. And, again, Weaver going to be able to contribute right out of the box. Not going to have any problem at all. Adding a lot to the team's magic damage portion, anyway. Do have some movement already making its way down. And that was Mill taking a peek. He is just going to pre-rune now. Sitting down at the bottom slot, and we'll spot an invis. And he's going to go ahead and grab it. Now, this is where Darkseer can be a little weak. Does he have a point? He doesn't have a point in the Quash yet. He's put 2 in the Exort and 1 into his ulti. He really, like, if he had a point in the Quas for a Cold Snap, and wow, Universe actually just got First Blood.
And here come the sharks.
Keeping an eye here on mid, was expecting an attempt on sneaking, and instead we end up with a death in bottom. So Weaver ends up dead, Sentry down, Ward down even. And he's going to have to play pretty far back now. Sitting at just level 1, he's been zoned out extremely effectively. And Shadow Demon steps up, continuing to keep an eye on him. The invis is going to expire though, so not that it matters. There was a sentry right there anyway. So sneaking had a general idea of what was taking place. But 3 minutes in, Dignitas leads 1-0. And we're going to have another attempt here in mid on sneaking. This time they got him. Very nice block with the illusions there of the Shadow Demon. As Leshrak was there, I'm sure he followed up a nice disruption with Split Earth. So 1-1, Pain finds their way onto the board. Now they're going to move together. And really no reason not to do this. Only problem is Aoi will be able to get himself some farm and some levels now. And the support's moving down to bottom. Going to hook up with Weaver, so we will see this transition to an offensive tri-lane. They dropped a ward right on the Magic Bush. Going to be blocking the camps. There's a disruption. And let's see if they can follow it up. Nope, they're going to be run out by it. Fearing the Kunkka, wisely so. Kunkka, with his phase boots already done, threw a torrent. Or started to. Jakiro has an ice path. There's X marks the spot. And the torrent does connect. Tidebringer doing good damage. Oh, Split Earth actually off the mark. And Ice Path from distance able to seal the deal. So Leshrak ends up dropping. And this bottom lane becoming a disaster. And now sneaking finds himself at DD. Looks like he's going to go ahead and loop up and around. They're going to try to kill the Gyro. Gyro has very little mana right now. And down here, Dignitas continuing to try to keep the pressure on. And yeah, now 9999. Likely to be in trouble. Going to eat some karate chops and some burn damage. Sneaking. Will be caught by the homing missile. Does not have vacuum, but nonetheless going to be able to most likely catch him, and he does. So that's a free kill for him. Aoi, I think, was in range for the assist goal, perhaps. But yeah, things already beginning to fall apart just about everywhere. Except mid. Invoker going to be quite happy to just have a lane to himself for a little while. 3-1, 4 kills on the board in a 5-minute game. 3 of the 4 belong to the professional team of Dignitas. Looking at the CS, we can see Invoker certainly benefiting a lot from being left alone for a bit. He's up to 27, doing a good job there against Darkseer in mid. And we may have another engagement as Dignitas is keeping an eye on things. It's going to be 2-on-3 if they decide to do so. As they did rotate 1 to mid, that was way too. Just hitting him there to get him some levels. A little bit of farm, a little bit of gold. In the meantime, they managed to take the top towers. Gyro couldn't come anywhere near. Aoi's getting into much better position now, sitting at 13 CS. With his level right around 5, so he's actually near the top. And that was the problem with what they were doing up there when they abandoned it. There's going to be a disruption. Sunstrike's there. Split Earth on the mark. Fogged. In trouble. Will be melted down. And Universe can do nothing but a little bit of Tidebringer damage. So they get the Jakiro kill. And Aoi still going toe-to-toe with the Gyro. Gyro just about to hit 6. That'll make things a little dangerous. Take a look at the Weaver. Still just level 3. That hurts a lot. Usually want to wait until 10 minutes in to take a look at the gold graph. There's going to be a disruption from Mill. Haste rune spotted by Sneaking, so not going to be able to put it to any good use. Back in mid, though, the Invoker continuing to do his job. Net worth, 3 of the top 4. And a sizable gap already being opened up in a big way, but Sneaking, zoning, Gambetta out. Got 3 or 2 on 2. Now 3 as Mill rotates down to try and defend this tower. Right now, a lot of movement on both sides for the most part. And now we taking to the jungle when he needs to. Could buy himself a set of phase boots right now if he really wanted to. He's got 1,400 gold already. And a set of brown boots. And a little bit of actual harassment being done. There's X marks the spot. Torrent will be mistimed there. But they're going to converge on top. There's the TP reaction. Don't know that's going to be there in time. Dual breaths there. Call down, actually. Following a split earth. Well shot by Pain, and they're going to turn this around. Sunstrike gets 1 kill, and they're going to get fogged. They should be able to get him. 1 auto attack, all it's going to take. And that will do it. Very nice turnaround for Pain Gaming as they take 3 kills. And a great Sunstrike coming out of mid from the Invoker. Getting 1 of them. And Gambetta actually... Is he going to get a Midas? I think he is. Yeah, he's going to get a Midas. Glove of Haste. Already up. He's pretty close to it, so it's like the timing on it's going to be about right. 8-minute Midas is usually considered when you want to try to have it on just about any hero. You can get it earlier on some. But an interesting choice from him. Means they're going to be, usually you see that. What it tells you is that whoever's playing the Invoker wants to be a damage dealer. They're going to be relying on him to help carry the torch and damage. And yeah, just bought the Midas. It'll be on the way now. I mean, and there are other benefits. I mean, it helps with levels, which is always very important to Invoker for obvious reasons. It's important to every hero. But, the way he builds, I would imagine, would probably mean an early Scythe of Ice. And probably... I mean, Nags is good, but when you see damage build Invokers, very often you'll see them just go like a very early Scythe of Ice, maybe a Force Staff, and then round it out with like even an MKB. And we're going to see perhaps another attempt on Aftershock. They are going to be able to X marks the spot. Torrent mistimed. And Sneaking, forced to pull back. Nice disruption from Mill. Sneaking is going to go ahead and bounce back to top. And back to the Invoker. Yeah, he's got his phase boots up, got his Midas up. They're going to try to converge again on the Gyrocopter. And this is something Dignitas is so good about, keeping pressure on the carries. Vacuum's going to be off the mark, and they're going to rotate 2 more back to top. Taking a look at the CS. Kunko with 48, 55 for the Invoker, 42, 41 on down the line. Owie really does, the problematic hero right now. Sneaking did eat a lot of damage there. Has a DD up. I was just going to try to TP away, and woohoo, could not have cut him much closer. Sneaking will take the damage and call down. That's a death. So Pain is reacting very well to this pressure in top lane coming out of Dignitas. Reacting very well. And there is a well-shot Torrent. Ice Path, beautifully timed. The boat connects. And that's how you kill a Weaver. Got to make sure everything's chained together correctly. Very well done. And Weaver continuing to struggle. He's down with the supports in terms of levels. But again, Owie's the one who's really benefiting a lot here. Getting a lot of farm. Well underway to his armlet. About halfway done with it now. Not more. Pain in the meantime just trying to farm up as well. And given that the Gyro's not in bad shape. He's been helped out a lot by the kills he's been able to get up there. And again, that's just good rotation. Dignitas did manage to get that tower. We are going to see a TP down and Universe engage upon. Here comes Sneaking. He wants to get involved. Sunstrike. Damage split up. And the Weaver all of a sudden a bit out of... He actually uses time lapse and now going to be... Oh, very close. But Ice Path going to catch 2, and the counter initiation, they get the Leshrac. Shadow Demon's down as well. And the Weaver's still running. Sneaking. Doesn't know which way he went, tried to guess. As a great split earth, almost enough to completely turn that around. And very, very close to killing that Weaver originally when the split earth caught them. So right now, Leshrak's playing very well. TT playing a good game of Dota. Here in mid, we're going to see Fiend's Grip on Gambetta. He's going to drop. And a little bit more pressure going to be applied to mid again. TP back down to bottom of Universe with Fogged. Soaking up some much-needed experience in the meantime. And Owie just going toe-to-toe with his gyrocopter. The bear's getting very large and very hard to deal with. And another good torrent. Oh, the boat actually caught and they just don't know it. And there he is. They see him. Very low health. There's an illusion right up. Couple of auto attacks. Shikuchi unable to get him. Tried to guess. Tried to guess he went right. He actually went bottom. And he's going to TP back immediately. And Owie again just continuing to farm away. Is just about to catch the Darkseer in terms of farm. Excuse me, the Gyrocopter in terms of farm. Has already surpassed the Darkseer. And looks like they do want to give him some attention. And this is what they need to do. Owie's just been having his way up here ever since that tier 1 dropped, ever since that initial gank of the Gyrocopter. And now he's going to be disrupted, Split Earth. There to follow it up, so is the Sunstrike. Very tanky, taking him some time, but they should be able to hit him. And they won't. That's actually kind of a big deal. And they lost a tower for that too, as Bane and Sneaking able to get the job done there in mid. 13 minutes in, looking at the gold, we can see heading very, very solidly into the direction of Dignitas, 4,000 plus. And the experience actually moving for a while in favor of Pain, dropping back down in favor of Dignitas now. There's a Shadow Blade up on the Kunkka, and a Armlet up on the Bear, so the key items coming out very quickly now for Dignitas. Mech done quite some time ago on Sneaking. And it wouldn't surprise me if they started to push soon. I mean, Owie may just go farm, but they can honestly hook up with this lineup. And again, what we're seeing is what I was talking about during the draft. The Jakiro, the Darkseer, the Bane, as well as the Kunkka. And that's a core that can fight very, very often. They're not a core who needs to have a full 5. They can be very effective just as 4 so long as their abilities are used correctly and so long as they strike in unpredictable ways or unpredictable places, which for the most part they've been taking 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, and not necessarily optimal situations, but at the same time situations where they can't. There's the Ice Path going to catch him up. There's the boat as well. That's going to be a kill. Gambetta caught, drops the rock, and Universe meching them through it. And nice vacuum. There's the wall, and Split Earth actually going to split the wickets. Never caught anything. Universe will be cleaned up regardless. Double kill going the way of Sneaking. And Owie pushing there in mid. So they have a chance to get 2 towers here. And Owie going to go immediately behind. That's going to force another reaction. Ice Path's going to catch him. They're going to Ice Path their dual breathing rather. Call downs there. Split Earth only got the Bear. Macro Pirate goes down. Awkward position for everyone. And Owie trying to pull back. Brain Sap just melting through poor Leshrak. Leshrak actually got a little love there. With a miss, not a lot of love there. RNG giveth, RNG taketh away. And Weaver still trying to do damage here. Wand charge is being used. There's time lapse. And Fogged being right-clicked. After Chuck going to continue to chase him. Does not get off one last spell. Now Sneaking going to be the target. And could go either way. Way too engaging now. Sneaking still up and running, but Kunkka's there. Swinging a very, very wet sword. So a double kill. And Dignitas. Oh, nice nightmare. Way too. Re-engaged upon with Cold Snap. They're going to try to fight it out, but Call Down's there. Universe is doing good damage. X marks the spot. Going to bring him right back. Has a boat again if he wants to use it. Gambetta will end up dead. And Universe just chopping away. Urn used on TT. Now he's going to be rooted down again. Not a whole lot that can happen except the Gyro watching on from a distance. Universe using that Shadow Blade. Looking for another target. And Owie going to be forced off. Yeah, wisely, I think. Universe withdraws. being annoying there, even using the urn. Yeah, he's actually going to go for this, I think. Universe chasing him down. Oh, so much damage. And there's the disruption. He needs to get out of there. And gets him with the Tidebringer. Ends up dying himself. Not the best to feed one of your carries in exchange for a Shadow Demon, but whatever. Anyway, 16 minutes in. Very active game with 29 kills on the board. Coming up on 10,000 gold advantage, however, for the Radiant side. And that's true. And I think that's true for almost every professional Dota player that plays Lone Druid. And the joke, by the way, if you're maybe new to Dota, is, you know, good at one-hit entangles. There's no good to it. It's all 100% live. But yes, that's what for most professional Dota players that play Lone Druid, they just have the sickest entangles I've ever seen. Waitsu and Fogged trying to pull back, and they'll be able to make it. They've got help coming, though, as Owie rotating up into the jungle. He's going to spawn out the Weaver. There's a root, and a bit extra damage done, already down to health, half. Now we're going to see the Invoker able to get away, unable to interrupt the TP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Universe.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looking to build some crit. He's got the broadsword. And there's an ice path. They're going to go ahead and engage off of this. Wall goes down. And Gyro going to have to walk back through it. Very smart. He's enfeebled, so he's going to have a hard time re-engaging. So Dignitas making it look pretty easy. And here we go. They're going to go ahead and continue to chase this out. Shadow Demon added to the kill list. Gambetta going to join him. 3 down. Here comes Weaver looking to re-engage. Going to try to make something happen, but caught, vacuumed in the ice path. That's 4 down. And the game beginning to slip away. One begins to suspect from pain. 21-12. The gold well up in 5-figure range. Not a single tower standing anymore for the Argentinians. Dignitas now eyeing the tier 3. And they are going to go ahead and move up. No reason not to. They've got the bear. Everyone is going to be available, so this could be another fight. Mech's up as well, and they're going to go ahead and immediately focus down the Leshrac. He's blown up, or no, actually disrupted, but will be blown up. Call down, not accomplishing much. Macro Pyre, pretty hot. Don't want to stand in a gyro. And Sunstrike mech'd through. Well-timed from sneaking, whether by luck or by intention. And the gyro is actually trying to build himself a Shadow Blade, surprisingly. Against this team, I don't really understand that. So much magic damage, and we're going to have Weaver time-lapsing out of that. Gambetta disrupted through his, so 2 very good escapes if Gambetta actually does make it away. I don't think he will. Nope, ends up dead. And behind us, the fight continues to roll as Aftershock, Fiend's Grip down. Universe with very little health still continues to display chest out. Has a Gorillion urn charges, has 7 if he wants to use them.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And
attack.
throw one onto his buddy, the Twin Head Dragon, but
Dire's top tower
not really needed with mech. There's a call down to try and ward them off. Another good, nice split Earth. Lesh has played really well this game. I mean, he's had a couple of moments where he's a little out of position. I feel like he's done quite a nice job for his team. And Dagon actually picked up on Bane, so Waitsu says, I want to get kills too, bro. Speaking of kills, 12, 3, and 9, not a bad showing out of Sneaky. And they're not going to back off. They're just going to continue to keep the pressure up. Now, Gyro still wanting to farm. Still needs another 500 gold for a Shadow Blade. But we're beginning to see why BKB after drums is so common on the Gyro. Nice path there to follow it up. There's the boat as well. And Dignitas going to be forced down at least momentarily. They do mech back up, so they're back just about to full health. And really not a whole lot Pain can do. Not going to feel safe moving out on the map. They might now when they see Darkseer teleporting away. Gyro did finish his Shadow Blade. A little bit more damage. Let them give as good as they get, they hope. Very nice X marks the spot. Ice Path a little mistimed, though. And here they come. Realizing, hey, there's whoever's standing here, they're at least behind a man, and another good split earth. Sneaking, gonna try to surge away. Ice Path almost bailed him out, but good damage done by the Jakiro. Here's the call down. Way 2 will be able to step out of it. Using Brain Sap, but not enough as the Forge Spirits from Gambetta getting the job done. Universe gonna walk up, thought he could get a kill with the cleave there, I think. And Shadow Blaze on both sides. In the meantime, Bane is bought back. And they're continuing to try and chase down the... Wow. Weaver engaged there for no particularly good reason. Universe has the TP if he wants to use it. Not that interested. Looks like he wants to just go for another kill. And almost caught it with just the cleave, and that's... Nope, Bear took it from him. Would have been cute to have seen X marks the spot bring him back from the TP, though. Nonetheless, Dignitas maintains their lead, 28-14. Rack still standing. Average KDA, current KDA 13.3. So yeah, as Bruno is pointing out here, this is not really the role Universe tends to be in most of the time. He's not generally a big carry player, but doing it this time for Dignitas. Sneaking, picked up a 4 staff after his mechanism. Speaking of the Invoker. Then end up going -4 staff. That's pretty typical. Scythe Device, probably the next item pickup he'll want to chase, if not a Scepter. If he wants a Scepter, totally understand it. But with that Midas, usually you're more about building high impact items in more frequency and faster. And Aoi really, again, doing quite well out of that laning phase. We're going to see another X marks the spot. Torrent, boat, everything on the mark. They just killed that Weaver about 15 times. He was X marks the spot. He got hit by the Torrent. He got hit by the boat. Then there was a Fiend's Grip channeled for about 2 seconds. And then Bane Dagon, just cuz. And yeah, Universe is just gigantic right now. He's hitting so hard. 240. Not including Tidebringer.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they're going to go back to work on the top 2-3. Just the 2 of them. Weaver's down, but so is the Druid. And just keeping the pressure up. Again, no reason not to at all. Torrent's going to catch one. Disruption's there to bail him out, though. And Gyro going to be vacuumed out. Do they have detection? I don't think they do. Yeah, they haven't have any bot detection. Little goofy. Little goofy. At this point, Pain does have a decently tough team to crack. There's a 4 staff, and the X marks the spot, and they're gonna catch him with the Torrent, and the boat's on the way. Disruption actually saved him. Gambetta caught by the boat. So much damage is done right now by that Kunkka. It's ridiculous. He's about to have his Daedalus done. We're just at 24 minutes in, and I don't think I've brought the camera back to the Radiant side of the map for about the last 15. And Weaver gonna be spotted moving out down. And the other lane, yeah, they're just going to rush this. There's the Daedalus done. And they get the tier 3. Now going to move on to the racks. Potentially a game-ending fight on the way. And vacuum. Torrent's going to be off. But Ice Path actually misses the Weaver as well. And Gambetta revealing himself. Uses the Deafening Blast. Universe ends up dead. So well played there. Now he's on the wrong racks there. They are going to be able to catch the Leshrac with Fiend's Grip. So he's dead. Ice Path barely clips Aftershock, but able to Shikuchi away. And they're just going to fall back, mech up, and probably wait to do it again. It's 1 for 1 right now, but they are missing a lot of their damage in the Kunkka. And nice vacuum into that Ice Path. Disruption again, well timed by Mill. Mill's had a really good game for that. Decision, and it's not just a matter of hitting a button and clicking a hero. There's a decision making involved. They may be able to get the gyro. Nope. And they're going to re-engage. Weaver forced to pull back as well.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
They did lose their ranged racks. Now just wanting to get the melee racks down. Aoi rejoins the fight. And Sneaking gets himself another kill with Ion Shell. And it looks like this one might be winding down, folks.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Split Earth catches Owie. Force Staff gets him. Force Staff plus a Surge gets him out. Now, nice vacuum. Got 3 into that Ice Pack. And no follow-up. Dignitas withdrawing, but
Dire's top barracks
the captain is back aboard. And he's almost level 16. Another nice Ice Path shot. And now going to town. And he should be able to finish this up. The Bear with one last shot and might get the other one. Nope. Not too hard. Not too hard at all. Whenever you got that much cleave. 35-17. Buyback on the Invoker. Going to try and extend this game. Coming up on 20,000 gold to the advantage of the professional squad. The Argentinians held on as long as they could, but getting run over a bit now.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
One set of racks down. Now Dignitas going to look to go ahead and move on. Roshan, certainly a target they could take pretty much without being contested. Don't think they really are that focused on it. Yeah, it looks like they're just... they may just shove it, then fall back and do it. Regen room picked up by sneaking. Now Pia is going to go ahead and head back up. And Universe is walking right up, waving to him, no problem. Radiant's done now on Owie. Dagon, it's actually level 2 now. Way too such a troll. Gyro has not really added anything to his inventory, as you can imagine. Most of Pain hasn't, to be completely honest, not for a while. And now the tier 3 in mid. Being assailed and accosted. Symphony Ward down. Beautiful vacuum wall. Ice Path to follow it up. There's a torrent to connect as well. Disruption buys a little bit of time, but with the burn damage being what it is, yep. That is a train wreck right there. Yeah. That's something called police. There was just a curb stomping. Right outside the racks. 39-17. Dignitas solicits the GG. Short of 30 minutes, 28-minute game. And puts another win next to their name in our standings. We got 2 more games to go today, guys. Typical Mistakes going to be taking on Pain Gaming next. And rounding things off will be Team Liquid versus Pain Gaming as our last match. We'll be hoping to get the next match underway just as soon as we can. Once again, thanks for making the ADL a part of your day. Thanks for making me a part of your day. And thanks so much for supporting North and South American Dota. Having a lot of fun today. Haven't been the closest games, to be honest. Not many of them, but that's okay. Still awesome to just kick back. You know, it's a Saturday, have a beer, maybe you're grilling out. You know, that's something I haven't done yet that I really want to do. I really want to set a TV up outside, like on the deck. Make sure it's covered, just install it, and then hook a PC to it, watch some Dota, grill out one day. Yeah, hope you guys are doing that. If you are, I'm jealous. I'm here in AC Chambers. You're live here on the American Dota League, twitch.tv/American Dota League. Make sure you hit follow. I want to have you back for all of our future broadcasts. Again, 2 more best of ones coming up today. And we'll be back in action after the end of today. We'll be back on Tuesday, so we'll be down for Sunday and Monday. Again, want to have you back for all of the 2-month stretch of action we have ahead of us. Make sure you follow the American Dota League on Twitter as well, at American Dota. You can find me on Twitter too, at AC, AYESEE. Dignitas rules 39-17, 29 minutes, 0-5. The official game score. We got our next to last match of the night coming up. Typical Mistakes taking on Pain Gaming next. Stick with us.